Alright, let's get started. So, yeah, I have solved this problem, but I'm going to see if I can explain it where it makes sense, and that is the goal of this. So, description. This is the description of the problem. This is the problem of today. Insert, delete, get random O of 1. Okay, so this is the problem statement. Design a data structure that supports all following operations in average constant time. So you want your insert, your remove, and your get random. So the approaches, there's a couple of approaches to consider, which are, you can consider using an array or a list in Python, because I'm in Python. If you use this, the insert runtime insert will be O of 1. Remove would be O of n. Get random would be O of 1. Cool. Not exactly what we want, so then we go to maybe another approach. Approach 2, maybe let's do a hash map or a whatever it's called in Python. So insert would be O of 1, like remove would be O of 1, but get random would be O of n. We can't really get random with a hash map, because the only way to do constant time lookup is we need the index, and hash maps, dictionaries in Python are not scriptable, so that is not going to work. So I got to go to another approach. I go to approach 3, and approach 3 is, well, I can see how some of these work, right? You see how the list works for get random, but the hash map doesn't work for get random, but the list doesn't work for remove, but the hash map works for remove. So what if you do hash map plus list? So I'm going to demonstrate is that this will allow the beautiful this fact to happen. Okay, so that's really good. And then so let's go through the analysis of this. So a good way to start is to take an example. So we'll start with our empty array and our hash map. Now, to insert is super easy. I don't have to go over why insert is going to be constant. Obviously, that'll be constant, just adding it to it. So what we'll do is I'll get an example, and I'll try to show how remove can be constant and get random can be constant. So if we have an array, let's say our array, and then our map is equal to this. Okay. So let's say our array is 5, 1, 6, 9, or something. And let's say our map would be 2 is mapped to 0, 5. Oops, I'm using the wrong. 2 is mapped to 0, 5 is mapped to 1, 1 is mapped to 2, 7 is mapped to 3, 9 is mapped to 4. So what I'm doing here is the map is composed of key val, which is the key is element value, and the value is the index in the array. Okay, now this will work because to do get random, so I can show why it would be, why is it O of 1 in get random? Well, just use the array, which you can index in, and use whoa, my typing so bad, random dot choice array, right? Okay, we got that. But what about remove? What about remove? So the only way to do remove is to consider, so the hash map is going to be constant, right? So the remove from the hash map would be really easy. You just take map dot remove, and you put the key, right? As far as I can tell, that usually works. But to remove from the list, the only way to have O of 1 removal from a list is to remove from the end. That is to use pop on the last element. That's the only way to have O of 1. So what we have to do is somehow take the element we're removing. So we want to take the element. So let's say I call remove. So first off, this is a removed set, and I call remove on 1. So what I need to do is I need to take my array 2, 5, 1, 7, 9 and somehow transform it to 2, 5. I need to swap 2 elements. It turns out to be best to do that, swap the last element to this, and then obviously once I do that, I can do in constant time, I can delete the last element. 9, 7. Okay, so this will work. Now, you have to update the dictionary. Make sure you update the hash map or dictionary, and that will update to something like 20. You have to update the index. So like 9 is now going to have the index of the original value. So let's try coding this. So create my 2 things. So let's say self.array and self.map. Do these 2. Do delete here. And then I'll do insert. So for insert, what I'll do is insert pretty easy. So it's just check if it's in the array. If val not in self.array, you want to add it to the array. So that's pretty basic. So do self.array.append val to the end of the array, and self.map. Right, you want to what's it called? Index equals okay, so the one thing to know is that the length function is constant in time, -1. So then you just do self.map val and set it equal to index. And then you want to return true. Else you return false. Okay, that's pretty basic. This one I already know how to do, so I'm just going to do it. It's just return choice self.array. Okay, so this is the remove. So remove might be a little tricky because you have to swap the last element to be able to get it to work. So this is what that will look like. So first I want to get my index and my last. So sorry, I'm going to get my index and my last index. We'll set them equal to self.map with a val, and the last index would be self.array. Sorry, this isn't the last index, but it's the last. I want the last val because I want to swap it. Okay, so then you want to do self.array index and self.array -1 equals self.array -1 and self.array index, right? So what am I doing here is basically saying swap these 2 elements. So this is this step here where basically the 1 gets swapped with the 9. So I swap the index with the last element, and the last element is going to be the value at the index. I guess that's one way to do this. Another thing is that I already said last val, so I could just call this last val. I think it's not really going to matter, but I did say this is the last val. Actually, yeah, that's what I did do there. Okay, so sure. Now we need to update the dictionary. So to update the dictionary, we need to say that, well, we need to say that self dot, what was it? Dictionary is self dot val. No, val. Self dot last val, right? So the last val is not even going to be equal to the index, right? Because we swap it. So that means we're going to pop off the last val, so we're not going to. Okay, I think it's going all right so far. So we'll do self.array.pop and then self dot. Oh, also there's one thing I didn't do. I have to check if val in self.array. This is when you would want to do all of this. Otherwise you just return false. Now we're getting close to it, but we want to return true here. And then here what we'll do is we'll do self.map.pop, and we want to pop that val. So okay, let's check this out. I believe this is what will work. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. What? Oh, shoot. Let's go in your face. Yeah, 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 yes, 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 yes. Alright, so good to go. I guess it's not that fast though. It might be because I'm doing extra stuff here. But it used a lot less memory though.